everyone, welcome back to my channel and my first ever sit down video in my new house. Not that you can tell because you can literally see a wall and fairy lights, but for me it's very exciting. So today's video I'm going to be testing out the Revolution Pro CC Cream Perfecting Foundation. It'll be a first impression and a wear test. So if you want to see what I thought, then just keep watching. So the foundation I'm testing today is the Revolution Pro CC Cream Perfecting Foundation SPF 30. I picked up the shade 6.5. I'm hoping it matches. I actually don't have a clue. I tried to like roughly guesstimate online, which I quite often do. Usually, actually, to be fair, I am alright at doing that, but sometimes it can go wrong. So I ordered this when I was like a lot more tanned, because my face, look, I mean, I've got a pink face and then a tanned yellow arm. So I always match to my body, obviously, because I don't want to have a different colour face to the rest of me. But I'm hoping this will match now, because the sunshine has just disappeared in the UK. It's gone, alright? So I've had a few weeks with no sun and I faded a bit. So I'm thinking this will probably match now. If it's too pale, we were just bronze to the gods. And if it's too dark, then send help, because I have to go out today. Great. I got this, I think, from Superdrug, but you can get it on Beauty Bay and stuff as well. And this retails at £10. It just says on here, moisturising rich foundation, contains hyaluronic acid, collagen and antioxidants. It's saying it's full coverage, moisture rich CC, foundation SPF, a highly pigmented yet light moisturising foundation enriched with hyaluronic acid, collagen and antioxidants. I'm just going to check and see if it says anything else about it. So it says on Revolution's site, the most hard-working multi-purpose foundation, perfect for dry to combination skin. This Revolution Pro CC Cream Perfecting Foundation SPF 30 offers sheer to full buildable coverage whilst leaving the skin hydrated and protected. Containing hyaluronic acid and collagen, this multitasking foundation will protect the skin whilst evening out the skin tone with the infusion of antioxidants, vitamin E, that helps to reduce any redness. Fab, that is definitely what I want. Plus the formula will work to diffuse the appearance of wrinkles whilst offering long-lasting coverage that doesn't feel cakey or heavy on the skin. Featuring a luxurious gold compressible tube with a pump dispenser for quick fuss-free application with zero waste. It's available in 20 true skin shades, which is great. I'm just going to have a quick look at the shade range just to see. It goes from really fair to really deep, which is incredible. I love it when brands are inclusive and cater for all. I think it's terrible if they don't, to be honest. It sounds incredible, like my perfect foundation. It said dry to combination skin. Mine is probably more normal, sometimes combination. I occasionally get oily in my T-zone, and I quite often get melting around the nostrils with my foundations. If you've been watching my first impressions on foundations, you'll know I say that in every flipping video, because it's true. Although it says for dry to oily skin, I actually really love glowy skin, like super glowy skin. I don't mind a bit of shine as long as I don't look greasy. So let's get it out the packaging. Actually, let's zoom you in first. This is the packaging. Really sleek, looks really nice. It actually reminds me a lot of the IT Cosmetics CC cream, so I don't know if this is meant to be a dupe. That's in silver packaging, but it's very similar to this. This actually looks like a pretty good shade as well. Woo, how exciting. The packaging actually feels really good quality, considering it was like only £10, and yeah, it just looks really nice. It's got a nice gold lid with a matching gold pump. I love a pump foundation, they're my favourites. Oh, I nearly got very carried away and just started going in then. So as always, I will be priming one half of my face to see if that makes a difference. So the primer I'm using today is the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. I've only been using this for a couple of weeks, but I actually really like it. So I'm going to do try and do half a pump, and I will apply it to the right side of my face today. I've already done my skincare for the day as well. I forgot to say that, because I always do my skincare in the morning before putting on my primer, and then the rest of my makeup. So that is all rubbed in, I'm pretty sure. And again, as always, I will be testing applying with a brush and with a beauty sponge, just to see which I prefer, if it makes a difference in application and all that jazz. This brush is from Primark. I love it. It's the 102 foundation blending brush, and it's super soft, and it's like, how do I show you? Yes, like that. It's angled, and it just means that it applies really nicely, and you can kind of get right into all the little nooks and crannies in the face. But I love it. It buffs out my foundation really nicely as well. And then this sponge, I've actually moved away from the Real Technique sponge, would you believe it? I was obsessed with that. I mean, I still love it, but I tested this one out. It's the number 7 beauty sponge. I'll link it down below. I love it. It's so good. So I'm obsessed with that. So I just thought I'd give you a little update on my tools. We will start with the brush, and I will start on the unprimed side first. Oh my god, look how filthy my mirror is. Don't mind that. Okay, so it's a little bit pale, but never. Oh, actually, it's quite a lot, like compared to me. Oh wow, this is really pale. This is the 6.5. Oh well, like I said, we'll bronze to the gods. So, oh, it's actually really thick. Oh my god, that is so pale. It is like way too pale for me, but I'm still going to test it. So currently I hate it with this. You can see, I'll zoom you right in. Actually I'm going to have to get close. All of the brush marks, like it just does not blend. It looks awful. Also, it's really thick, like it's quite hard to move. So I'm going to try and go over the top with the sponge. But I just wasn't expecting that because it said it was lightweight. So now I'm going to go back in with just the sponge. I've gone over that and that helped it, but let's see. It definitely oxidizes, because look how pale it is when it first goes on, and then it goes a slightly deeper colour. So be mindful of that. I mean, for me, that's probably a bit of a blessing today, because this is so pale, which, I mean, it goes up to F18, I think, and this is F6.5. And I had like read online about, I look ill. Yeah, I read online and tried to like match myself based on what it said, and it said like medium, fair to medium, but this is definitely not fair to medium. I look like Casper the Ghost right now, like look at it compared to my face. It actually looks worse on camera though. But anyway, I like it with the sponge. It blends out really easily. Absolutely hate it with the brush. It looked awful. It was really hard to move and just like wouldn't blend. And you could see all of the brush marks. Now for the primed side. Actually, I'll try again with the brush on the primed side and see if that makes a difference. No, this just does not work well with a brush, and I absolutely love that brush, so I know it's not the brush because I use it with every foundation, and I switch between about 4 or 5 foundations that I use each day. I don't use 5 a day, I mean there's like 5 I choose from each day, if that makes sense. It works well with the sponge, thankfully. But still, you do have to work quite hard to blend it out. Thing is, I can't cream bronze to correct this because I don't want it to like affect the performance of the foundation or anything. So, oh, this is interesting. My other, what is going on with the lighting, or is it just because my face is so pale? My other tip is to go into store and match yourself. Don't try and do it online. I would say the coverage is medium. You can still see a bit of pinkness in my cheeks, however it has definitely covered my skin. It actually looks quite heavy on the skin at the moment. I'm going to do another like mini pump just so you can see how much this oxidizes. Right, I'm going to zoom you right in again, you lucky people, and then look at the colour difference. So it oxidizes a lot. Sorry if the lighting's going funny in this video. I'm trying to like adjust it and get it okay, but we'll see if this builds up anyway. I actually would say it's easier to apply and blend on the unprimed side. I'm just going to build it up across my cheeks and see if I can cover some of the pinkness. I still just cannot get over how much that has oxidized, which, like I said, today for me is a blessing. But if you bought it based on swatching it, it would then be way too dark for you. It builds up really well on the side that I haven't primed. However, on the side I have primed, when I try and blend it, it almost seems to like pull more of the foundation away from the face. You have to like really go over it to get it to blend in, which is unusual because, again, this primer I've tested with all my other foundations and it doesn't do that. It also looks just super heavy and it's like separating on my nose. Oh, this isn't going well so far, is it? Right, this is it so far. I love the finish of it and the glow. I mean, I actually look quite greasy on camera. In person, it's a healthy glow. But it's not very skin-like, like it's really heavy. I realise my eyes look crazy at the moment, but I don't know if you can see, it just looks super heavy on my skin. I thought I was going to love this because I've got had the It Cosmetics CC cream, which I loved, and I actually did a first impression on that, so I'll link that video down below. And I thought it was going to be a dupe for that. Some of my foundations, however, do look heavy to start with, and then once they've settled into the skin they look better, so we won't judge completely yet, but so far I'm not really loving it. Let's pop on some concealer and see how that blends in. I mean, my concealer is darker than my foundation, come on. Whoa, I look crazy. Yeah, this is definitely the wrong colour for me, which is obviously not the foundation's fault, it's mine. So I can't like knock it down for that, but yeah, this is super pale. So I'd 100% go and test it on your hand, but bear in mind that it oxidizes a bit, so maybe match your skin tone and then go down a shade or something. I'm going to set under my eyes with powder, however I'm not going to be setting the rest of my face with powder. I never do anyway, but also I don't want to because I want to test the foundation in its truest form and see how well it lasts. Okay, so, oh my god, look. The underneath of my eyes look orange because my concealer was so much darker. Okay, this is like an epic fail already. But never mind, we will continue. Hopefully when the rest of my makeup is on, it will look way better. So my concealer blended really easily. You're gonna have to excuse the fact that my under eyes are like so much darker than the rest of my face right now. I am gonna fix it with bronzer because it looks hideous at the moment. But my concealer blended really easily. However, the powder has gone a bit weird under my eyes and it just looks so heavy, which it doesn't usually. So again, I'll get close so you can see. It's just gone super heavy under my eyes. So I'm going to take a quick flash test and see if we get any bounce back. Pretty sure we're going to because I look quite greasy anyway. But I'll test it with the flash on. And yeah, we'll see if we get any bounce back and how it performs under harsh lighting. Okay, so I just took a, oh, honestly, I can't take myself seriously, I just look ridiculous. I just took a picture, which I will insert now. There's actually not as much bounce back as I thought. It just really doesn't look nice on my skin. It's kind of similar to in the video where there's a nice amount of glow. I really like the finish in terms of the glowiness of it, but it looks so heavy on my skin. You can tell that just from the picture. I really don't like it so far. So I'm going to go and apply the rest of my makeup in hope that that makes this look a million times better. I mean, I'm going to need it. And then I will be back. Right, the rest of my foundation is... foundation, what the hell am I on about? Rest of my makeup is on and it does look much better now. Like, thank God, because I was hating that. The colour is a lot better. I've bronzed my neck. I mean, it's still massively pale, but I can get away with it where I've bronzed my cheeks and my neck, and yeah, it kind of just looks like I'm going for a brightening look. Let's just go with that. My bronzer and stuff actually applied really nicely, particularly on the forehead. It just went on really well. And the blusher and highlight did too. However, on my nose, right, sorry about all these close-ups today, but on my nose it's separated and looks so textured, and under my eyes it's just gone really weird, like it's separated but downwards, not in the way that my like natural wrinkles or creases, whatever you want to call them, would go. I've tried to buff it out as well and it just hasn't made a difference, so I really hate how it's made the powder go on top. I'm hoping that will kind of settle in a bit. I did just try and buff it out a little bit more and that sort of helped somewhat. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. It just looks quite heavy under the eyes and across the cheeks. Oh yeah, it looks heavy everywhere really. It's sunk into the lines in my forehead a little bit. There's no melting around the nostrils yet, but obviously I've not had it on very long. It does just generally look quite heavy. However, it does make my skin look like, from a distance, my skin looks quite, not flawless, but very smooth. But then up close, it is quite textured, a bit powdery. Like it's already creased on my chin and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say I'm not loving it so far. The only thing I like is the amount of glow that it gives. I really like that, but other than that, I'm not loving it that much. Actually, I like how it's gone on like this part of my cheeks where the bronzer applied on top quite nicely. But I'm like really trying to find stuff I like here. Whilst I was applying the rest of my makeup, I was actually thinking I might scrap this video. Like, I do not want to wear this for the whole day. I was grumpy, I didn't enjoy doing my makeup, which is very unlike me. So yeah, I'm really not loving it so far, to be honest. But I'm hoping maybe after an hour or two of wear, it might end up being a bit better. Sometimes, you know, foundations, when you first put them on, they're not that great. And then once they've like settled into your skin, they look better. So I'm really hoping that's going to happen because I've got to go out soon. The unprimed side is actually looking better than the primed side. This seems to have sort of filled in and smoothed out my pores a bit. Well, there we go, that's something else that's quite good. But on the primed side, it seems to have sunk into them a little bit more. I just think it generally looks better on the unprimed side. In terms of like application and blending though, didn't really make much of a difference once my foundation was on. Like the rest of my makeup applied the same both sides, so primer hasn't really affected that. It was just when I initially put the foundation on. But the time is now, bear with, the time is now 11 o'clock, so I will be back in a few hours with my first update. Fingers crossed I'm liking it a bit more then. Hello everyone, so it is now about 5 minutes past 3, which means I've had the foundation on for about 4 hours now, so I'm just gonna have a look. It's time for the first update. I haven't literally looked at it since I put it on. I can see in the camera it looks a little bit shiny on my chin, but I'm gonna have a look in the mirror and we shall see. Yeah, it's gone a little shiny on my chin. It hasn't separated anymore on my nose, and it's actually not started to melt. Oh no, it has, right. So it hasn't done it too bad with the melting around the nostrils. However, the primed side is worse than the unprimed side. Still looks a bit weird and powdery under my eyes, but generally it looks a lot better. I'm quite glowy now, so I've definitely got a little bit more oily, but I actually like how it looks. I don't mind this sort of look. Sort of a little bit glowy in my forehead, a little bit more than it was earlier, and sort of across my cheeks slightly. And like I said, it has gone oily on my chin. Would probably set that with powder because I don't particularly like it oily on the chin. But I am liking it much more than it has earlier. The colour also seems to have adjusted slightly. It's still way too pale, but it's much better than it was this morning. So it definitely does oxidise. I don't think it has any more though, since after a couple of minutes of putting it on. I don't think it continues to oxidise throughout the day. It has settled into the lines in my head a bit more. It's smoothed out the pores on the unprimed side, but on the primed side you can see them a little bit more, and it just looks a little bit heavy along my top lip. But it is much better than when I first put it on. I definitely prefer it. I wouldn't mind going out like this now, and I really like how my highlight sits on top as well. It's a really nice base for powders. Like my bronzer and my highlight look really nice on top, but yeah, it's still looking a little bit heavy. I think if it was like a perfect finish, it wouldn't matter that it looked heavy. It wouldn't be as noticeable. But because of where it's gone a bit weird under my eyes and a little bit shiny on the chin, and here it's made it look a little bit heavy, but it doesn't feel heavy at all, which is great. I can't bear it when you can feel it on your skin, so that's good. So yeah, it's better than it was earlier. Like I said, that does sometimes happen, like once you've worn it for a little while, like after about an hour, it seems to sort of adjust and settle into your skin and looks a lot better. I'll just quickly zoom in so you can see. So you can see here it's gone really shiny on my chin. It has gone quite shiny in here, but I don't mind that. And it started to go shiny across my cheeks, particularly the primed side, and you can see like around my nostrils. I don't know if you can see a bit that it looks like heavy on the top lip, which is a bit weird, but never mind. I still like don't absolutely love it, but I don't hate it like I did this morning when I first put it on. I seriously nearly scrapped the whole video. And to be honest, I was going to film other videos today, but I would rather do it when I'm having a better makeup day. So obviously I don't really like it enough to be filming my other YouTube videos, so I've actually had to move those to another day. But never mind, at least we're reviewing this. So yeah, I will be back in a few more hours with another update. Hi guys, so the time is now a couple of minutes past 8 and it's time for another update. Again, I look quite shiny in the viewfinder, particularly on my chin and cheeks. So let's have a look in the mirror and see what is going on. I've gone really shiny on the chin now. I've got hair stuck on my chin. God. Yeah, the chin has gone extremely oily and it's actually separated a bit on my chin, and across my cheeks and in my forehead it is really oily, and it looks quite heavy now. You know, it looks like it needs to come off. It's really creased under my eyes. And the powder is it's just sat so funny. Obviously I put like foundation up to around here and then concealer on the top of that, which with all my other foundations, that's how I do my makeup. It works really well. But with this one, the powder is just like sat on top of it rather than set it all in place and blended in. So it just looks really heavy and chalky under the eyes. It's really settled into the lines and it looks really greasy across my cheeks and on my forehead now, not just shiny and oily. I mean, you can see how shiny it is there. It's melted around my nostrils on both sides now. It's still looking better on the unprimed side compared to the primed. I mean, it's not looking great. I had a hair on my chin. I just pulled the hair off and you can actually see where the hair was. You can see it's all separated on my chin. It's super oily around here, and if you look under my eyes, actually let's zoom you in, that'll be easier. If you look under my eyes, God, it looks awful, to be honest. It's just not good. Look, it's kind of rubbed away, it's separated, really sunk into the lines, like, and my crow's feet, which I do have, but they don't show that much usually. It's still a little bit separated on my nose, super oily and greasy across my cheeks. Sorry, my lipstick's rubbed off a little bit because I've had cups of tea, some Prosecco and some lunch, and I've not reapplied my lipstick since this morning. And my chin is super shiny and separated as well. So, I mean, I'm not loving it. It's definitely worse than it was earlier, and I've had it on for, what is it now, 9 hours I've had it on for. I'm gonna probably wear it for another 3 hours, so we can do roughly a 12-hour wear test. I usually like to try and do 12 hours, and then it's kind of like fair across all the foundations that I test. I usually do a minimum of 12 hours. So I will be back in a few hours with my final update. Hello, so the time is now 11:05. Thank God, because I cannot wait to get this off of my face now. It's got to a point where it feels, it doesn't feel heavy. My skin feels like it can breathe, but my face feels sticky almost. Like, I'm aware if I was to put my face on something, my foundation would kind of transfer onto there. That's how it feels. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, it's time for another look. I can see in the viewfinder this bit is so shiny and oily, and my forehead has got more oily, and so has the chin. But let's get a closer look and see what we think. Yeah, wow, that is super oily across the cheeks and the forehead. Actually, it just looks really heavy now. The chin is looking horrendous. I've even got a bit of shine across the top lip as well. I just look like really greasy, and I just can't get over that under my eyes and how it looks. I'm zooming you in again because I'm sure it's got worse. It genuinely just looks terrible under my eyes, super chalky and heavy, and it never goes like this. It almost, I don't know, it just looks awful. Again, you can see like how greasy it is across my cheeks, my top lip, and on my chin. It's like all separated and stuff. I've had it on for 12 hours, and I mean, it was probably not wearable from the 9-hour point, I would say. I mean, I know I said I like a glowy a glowy foundation and the dewy look, but this is like really dewy on me. But to be fair to them, they said it's good for dry to combination skin. I don't necessarily agree with the combination bit, but perhaps if you have dry skin, then this will work well on you, because it does go very glowy, a bit too glowy for me, and I never thought I'd say that. So that could be why, but I mean, I think it's safe to say it's been pretty clear from the off that I haven't really loved this foundation. I had the raging ump earlier when I first put it on. One, because it was so much paler than I thought it was going to be, but that was completely on me, totally my fault. I didn't go in and do like a proper colour match, so that is entirely my fault. But then when I couldn't apply it with a brush and it was really thick, it was literally, actually, the only way I can describe how it looked and felt, it was like, you know when you get that really thick, heavy, sticky sun cream, it was like I was trying to apply that with a brush onto my face. It worked way better with the Beauty Blender. But yeah, overall I've just not really loved it. I wouldn't think, oh my god, this is incredible, I can't wait to wear it again. Will I wear it again? Probably not. I may possibly test it out in the winter once I've lost my tan, but I definitely wouldn't use as much of it. I would try and use maybe like 1 pump, because I think I used about 3 pumps in total. 1 pump, and kind of try and do a bit of like a sheer coverage maybe. Perhaps if I was having an almost no makeup day, maybe even half a pump, and spread it everywhere, because then I don't mind it going as glowy, and it would hopefully not look as heavy. But again, it's just not, it's not going to be my first choice. I'd rather put a bit of liquid illuminator in my moisturiser to do that, to be honest. So yeah, it's a shame. I think this is probably like the first foundation that I've tested that I really did not like. And it's also such a shame, because I love so many of Revolution Pro's products, or just Makeup Revolution in general, like their eyeshadow palettes. My favourite eyebrow product is their microblading pen. That's how I do my brows now, and it's literally amazing. I love their brushes. I've got so much stuff from them that I absolutely love, but this I really do not. I wouldn't say I hate it, it's a very strong word, but me and this, we're not friends. If I'm wanting a CC cream, I will be sticking to my cosmetics one, that is for sure. But also, don't take like necessarily what I say for gospel. So many people have like different skin types, different skin tones. Some people might absolutely love that foundation, so I'd recommend perhaps looking up other reviews as well. If you're thinking of trying this, just to, you know, make sure if you've come across mine and I'm telling you I hate it, someone else might absolutely love it, you know, you don't know. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful somewhat to you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, really helps me out. I would love it if you could subscribe as well, that would be fantastic. And I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.